Hello everybody out there in the music vinyl community. This is Mike here, Soldier777. It's been a while since the last video. But I do want to point out before I get to my topic of discussion that my last video showed two packages I got from Gerder Music. And I sort of did a version of when you get a package, there's two people that say this. Scott Waters, who came up with the idea in Greg the Egg of Blackmore Rules, kind of imitates what Scott says, or plays a video of Scott doing it. And of course, when Scott gets a package, it says, "Time for an edition of The Mail." So Greg the Egg also does that, which I find quite hilarious. And the reason why I say that is because I want to let you give you an update on my channel. My subscribers were hitting on the high 70s, and they peaked over past 80 subscribers. Now I get 81, and since my last video, it's been teetering between 78, 79 to 80, 81. Now it's settled at 81. Also, my viewership on my videos have shot up, and I want to thank Greg the Egg of Blackmore Rules for that, because he mentioned comments of my channel to help boost support. So I want to thank Greg the Egg of Blackmore Rules. And Greg the Egg is one of the funniest individuals I know of in the VC. Like sometimes he just cracks you up some of the stuff he says. Like here's let me just show you what he's kind of personality he's got. Let me just show you here. So you see that there. Here's Greg the Egg's channel here, and let's show a little bit of it there. Here's his cute Finnegan.
Welcome to another.
And sometimes they'll show like scenery of British Columbia, where he's from.
Supposed to be a thunderstorm later. It's about plus 16. But we'll take you live to a cloudy, stormy, milder.
And I just want to show something else there. And here's him saying, "The Mail." Let's show that bit of it there too as well.
You're listening to the Mail, brought to you by Cloudy, Stormy, Milder, in the middle of the cloudy.
Here he talks about one of his VC members, Chloe Stormy Modeler, sent him some mail. That's Greg of Blackmore Rules there. And the guy is really hilarious. He just cracks me up, so there you have it. So you want to subscribe to his channel, go right ahead. Very funny guy. He lives in British Columbia, which is on the other side of Canada where I'm from. I'm from Newfoundland, so British Columbia on the west coast, and I'm on the east coast. There you have it. So if you want to do a shout out to Greg the Egg of Blackmore Rules, really funny guy. And he sort of likes the same style I do, that hard rock to, I most like the rock, hard rock to the power metal and the classic metal. That's most of what I listen to, and he likes a similar style of music with bands of in that genre. So there you have it. So yeah, it's kind of cool. So I want to thank Greg the Egg Blackmore Rules for mentioning me a few times in his videos. Anyways, let's get to the topic of my channel. Oh, I want to mention too is another subscriber at Hegbang Zulu UK. They're about 2-3 years ago. He had a recently watched a video of him talking about what irritates him about collecting music. So I figured I'd let you know a few things that irritates me about collecting music. One of it is that when you get stuff in the mail, it's no fault to the vendors. It's probably, as we know, the mail between, especially go from US to Canada, they don't understand fragile or handle with care. You get stuff that's slightly damaged. What drives me nuts is when you get a CD jewel case and the spokes that hold the CD in place in the tray is cracked. And you got to replace the tray to hold the CD in. That irritates me. No fault to the vendors, because it probably got a lot to do with how it's handled in transit. So I got lots of the trays, spare C jewel cases with the black trays, but I only have a few remaining of the one with the clear trays. Of course, most of these manufacturers these days, reissued ones, got the clear tray. As you may know, the clear ones are much more fragile and less flexible than the black tray because of the composite it was made of. So where I'm getting thinned out of my jewel cases, the clear ones, and they're hard to find here locally. If you were to pick up jewel cases in a pack, usually get the ones with the black tray, not the clear ones. That's one thing that irritates me. The other thing that really irritates me is that when you email someone Discogs and you don't reply, and you want to get some proc information about a record or scene on Discogs. I order stuff on Discogs a fair bit too, from time to time. Not a fair bit, but from time to time. And when I email someone several times and don't respond, then if you were to make the move to purchase that item from that seller or another product, you're blocked. Because you email them probably 3, 4, 5 times over a span of probably a month or two, don't reply, then they block you. That really irritates me. I don't know why. I don't know if you guys have some similar experiences. Almost like they want to respond to you, and then they block you. That irritates me. Anyway, that's two things that I find that irritates me about collecting music. Another thing that irritates me. I got my eye out for the new John Fonte album, The Amazing Grace. Amazon.ca was a Canadian version of Amazon. The album was around $19. All right. Then you watch a price. See if it goes on low enough. Say around $17, $18, $15. I previewed the album. I don't like the album in its entirety. Probably 5 songs I like. He's got like 4 or 5 rock songs. The rest is more like mellower or easy listening or ballady type songs, which is not bad. And I previewed the album, so I'm trying to see if it goes low enough for me to buy it, where I want to pay too much for it, and then all of a sudden, then I see it go up to $25, then $30. And Amazon says only 4 left in stock, so they jack the price up because it's rare. On their website, they're low on supplies. That irritates me as well because I want to, I watch the price for it, goes up and down, that kind of thing. That irritates me about Amazon. Anyway, that's three of my quirks that I find with collecting music. Maybe you guys can post me with that respect as well. Let's get to the topic at hand. I want to discuss the year 1991 in terms of albums I have in my collection and releases and some discussion about those albums. As you may know, in 1991, the music scene changed. It went from, say, commercial hard rock and metal and classic metal to grunge. Now, some people blame Nirvana for single-handedly changing the music scene. I don't think you can blame one band for doing that. I think that every 5 to 10 years, music go through changes, go through trends. As we know, back in the mid-50s or prior to that, it was like rhythm and blues, rockabilly, spiritual gospel, jazz, fusion, that kind of thing. Then when Elvis Presley came along, they had like rock and roll. Then in the mid to late 60s, you had sort of that psychedelic rock and the psych rock and the experimental rock. And then you had those poor type metal bands, hard rock bands like Blue Cheer. Then in the 70s, you had like prog rock, and you had like the beginnings of like the hard rock metal bands like Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, that kind of thing. Then you had like the prog bands, experimental bands of the 70s. Then you had your more commercial bands, in the 70s. Then in the late 70s, early 80s, you had a new wave British heavy metal. Then you had like the metal bands like Priest and Maiden. Then you had your like the regular rock and pop bands, and then you had your like classic metal, that kind of thing. Then you had your commercial metal, which peaked between 85 and 90. The commercial glam metal, hard rock. And when 91 hit in North America, it was the alternative bands that were popular. I think the glam metal did this to themselves. It got redundant, it became saturated, and was nothing new. But over in other areas besides North America, like Europe and Asia, it was more of a melting pot. Yes, grunge was popular, but they also liked the classic bands that was a mainstay in those countries. Like a commercial hard rock and glam rock and metal and classic music, the classic rock that was around for years in those markets, Europe and Asia. But in North America, we tend to be more trendy, so whatever goes, goes. So that's why these alternative bands occupied the music charts in the early mid-90s, as you may know. And a classic music, hard rock and metal, slowly made its way reappear again in the late 2000s, late 90s, early 2002s, and your classic rock stations started to form. I know back in 2002, K-Rock was a classic rock station, aired for the first time in early 2002, aired for the very first time, and they play like classic bands ranging from, say, Tom Petty, The Priest, in that range, Motley Crue, that kind of stuff, in that range. The classic stuff, AC/DC, Rush, Triumph, Def Leppard, Eagles, that kind of thing. So anyway, let's get to so that's my thoughts of the music scene. Let's get to the topic at hand. So here's my vinyl records, and some of these bands have got more than one format, and I'll let you know, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So here's my records I got from 1991. So here we have Guardian, Fire and Love, was a good album. It sort of toss up between this one and American Mile. I kind of like both, but I think this one is, to me, edges American Mile just a little tad bit. But here's the retroactive version of this one, and which released a few years ago. There's a back of it there, kind of cool with the orange vinyl. So this is got a lot of good songs. You got my favorite song in this one is Power of Love, Send a Message Out, Taking on the World, Fire and Love, Turn Around, The Rain's really good song. They're probably my favorites on the song. I think Time Again is a good song too. I think my favorite ones probably be Power of Love and Fire and Love, the title track. They're really, really good songs. So there you have it. Here we have another band which changed names later on, Love Life. Goodbye Lady Jane, which came out in 91. Of course, they became known as Fear Not. And Fear Not, if you count this one, they're soon to be coming out with their fourth album later on this year on the Rocks Records. Same guys except for guitar player, they changed guitar players. So here we have Goodbye Lady Jane. Here's the back of it here. And it's sort of like that, and here's the vinyl. It's sort of yellow color vinyl. Almost like a rustic earth tone color, kind of cool. I like that. And this is put out by Rocks Records, and the Guardian was put out by Retroactive Records. And yeah, Lego songs in this one is, if you like Slaughter, Skid Row, got that vibe. This is what this is sort of similar to, that kind of thing. And do a Beatles cover called Hard Day's Night as well. So there you have it. Love Life, Goodbye Lady Jane, came out in 91. Another band I have, which is a really good album, is Cylone, Sweet Destiny, came out in 91. This is a retroactive reissue version with the splatter vinyl, kind of cool. Every song in this one's pretty good. The only song I say I can't stand or don't like is Lethal Lady. I cannot stand the song Lethal Lady. It just gets on my nerves, but all the other songs are good. Every song in this one's good. Here I Am Again, Miss Lizzie, Chemical King, Big Fight, Eastern Skies, that's a really good song. Deceiver, After Fire is a slow, atmospheric type song, really good song. Sweet Destiny, and Decent Souls. So let me just say it again. Here I Am Again, Miss Lizzie, Chemical King, Big Fight, Eastern Skies, Deceiver, After Fire, Sweet Destiny, and Decent Souls. They're probably the best ones on the album. Child of Mine's and Ballads is sort of okay, but I don't like the song Lethal Lady. But everything else here just pretty much rocks. I guess you can say there's pretty much 6 big rockers and 4 songs either ballads or lean towards a ballad category, if you want to categorize music. But I would like to see the one after this, Donnie Live, reached on vinyl as well. So Matt Hunt, if you're watching this video, I just bought the little, that last pack's got mail, got the reissued version of Shalom, Donnie Live. I would love to see that one on vinyl as well with the cool splatter vinyl. So Matt Hunt, if you're watching this video, please put out Shalom on Donnie Live on vinyl as well. I'd love to have that too. That's a good album as well. There you have it. Another one is Angelica Rock, Stock and Barrel. Angelica is a part Canadian-based band because Robert Pollin, the bass player, which is this guy here, and Dennis Cameron, here the guitar player and founding member, and Rob Pollin, the bass player. They're from Canada. I think the other two guys are American. Drew Baca and this guy here, I think, are American. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. But Angelica, of course, is built around guitar virtuos of Dennis Cameron. Great guy, great guitar player, sort of an underrated guitar player, super talented guy. Rock, Stock and Barrel. He lives, I think he's originally from Ontario. But yeah, it's Commit 91 as well. Great tons of good songs in this one. He does have a couple of instrumentals, Old Canada, which is our anthem, and Bum Bop Groove, which is sort of a fast, is a chorus, sort of a Flutter Bumblebee, that song, with some other instrumentation mixing with it. I think I can't remember exactly, but it has great songs. Fire and Saw, Someone to Believe in Me, Cover Me, which is a video he did. Great song. Try to get the bluesy vibe to the song. Really good song. Little Love is a good song. Without Words, a good song as well. But like I said, it's also put out by, this is originally put out by Intense Records, but this one is a reissue I have from Retroactive Records. Not Retroactive, sorry. I'm drawing a blank here. Guru Music, sorry. Here you have it. I want to give the proper ones as credit whoever is responsible for this album. There's sort of a smoky gray color too for the record too as well. There you have it. Next up, we have a great album too, Sacred Warrior Processions. Great album from a classic band, and came out in 91 as well. And mine is on a cool sort of a yellowish vinyl, and here's the back of it here with the cool pic of the band. There you have it. Great band, Sacred Warriors. And this is originally reissued by Retroactive Records. Another one that we've done by Retroactive Records is Deliverance, What a Joke. And when it comes to Deliverance, they've been putting out some pretty good stuff lately. I know 2007 it was As Above So Below. They had some good songs, and 2018, 2017, Subversive Kind. It's got some good songs too. They kind of return to their thrash roots with these two albums. This is their third album. I think they did this one to fulfill a record contract, but still it's a great album. What a Joke. And my songs I like on this one are Prophet UDC, Pursuit and Intellectual, What a Joke, After Forever's Black Sabbath cover, really good song. It's a Beat, Silent Nights, cool speed metal version of that song, and Attacks, pretty cool too, and Court Jesus God. These are last couple tracks I mentioned was kind of like thrashy too, and this has got a cool. 1 second now. A cool. Oops, upside down. There you go. A cool green vinyl. There you have it. Pretty cool to have in my collection. There you have it. Let's see now. So yeah, they're my albums I have released in 1991. And I'm getting past 19 minutes. Better be quick with this. Let's move on to the cassettes and CDs. I got one cassette from 91. This is X-Center Peace Treaty. Really good album, by the way. And here's the inside of here. Kind of cool. This is my original copy I have way back. I bought back in summer of '91. There you have it. Exeter Peace Treaty. So yeah, great songs. Every song is good in this one. The only song that really doesn't grab me is Getcha, but everything else is great on this album. Great. If you kind of similar to like Helix, Cinderella, Def Leppard. Got that kind of vibe to it. AC/DC. You know, if you like those bands, you definitely like that one. Let's get to the CDs. First one I have in '91 is Petra, Unseen Power. Great band, great album. And here we have and this is my original CD I bought back in '91. Actually, no, I got for Christmas. There's an original one that survived all these years. And this is probably one of my, if I were to do a ranking, and of course Petra's got like 20 odd albums and most of them are really good. This would definitely be, I'd say in the top 15. It's hard to say because, I put it this way, if I were to split Petra between John Slits and Greg Volz, this would be one of the top ones underneath the John Slits era. Definitely. So I kind of think of Petra in 3 or 4, maybe 3 categories. The early years, like the 70s, then the Greg Volz years, then the John Slits years, and then the post-John Slits years, where they're classic Petra. So that kind of thing. So, but this is a really good album. Good songs in this one. Destiny. Really Neville is a cool bluesy vibe to a song. I Need to Hear From You. Great song. As a ballad song, it was a great song. Dance. Sight Unseen. Hey World. It's about the sanctity of life. Really good motivational song. So yeah, great album. So another one we have is Halo, Heaven Calling. Bob Hartman helped to get this band signed to Ward Pachyderm. Great band. I think the lead singer Scott Springer is a pastor currently, or maybe he's retired by now. I don't know, but yeah, great decent album. I mean, we got I think the top ones on this is Saved by Grace, is more of a ballad. Heaven Calling title track, really good. Climb the Mountain, another good song. Man from Galilee, another good song. Those 4 songs will pretty much stand out to me. But yeah, Halo, Heaven Calling, good album. Here we have Rock Power Praise. Oh yeah, Retroactive Records reissued this album, by the way. So, not Retroactive, sorry, Good Music. Sorry. Another reissue by Good Music is Rock Power Praise Volume 2 Christmas Hymns. Came out in '91 as well. So, this was reissued there a couple years ago. There you have it. Another one reissued by Gerder Records is Auto Cure and Story Inside Out. There you have it. Another one from one of my favorite bands is Res Band Civil Rights. There you have it. Came out in '91. Very blues, bass, hard rock, metal album. Standout tracks: Love Speak, Players, Hot Footin', In My Room, and they do a classic Jefferson Airplane album, Somebody Love. That's pretty cool too. Res Civil Rights. Here we have Exeter Peace Treaty. Came out in '91 as well. And I met the band back in 2013 when they were touring, gave a concert here in Newfoundland. And of course, Greg Bishop and Rex Scott signed right here. That you can see here, so that's kind of cool. So there you have it. Exeter Peace Treaty. Next one, White Cross, In the Kingdom. Not their best album. I'll leave that to their first 3 albums, but there are some good songs. Second Chances, We Know What's Right, In the Kingdom, great ballad. Sort of an anthem, if you ask my opinion. Good Enough. Love Is Our Weapon. What else? I think that's Tell Me a Time. That's a cool tune from what's his name? Glenn Kaiser does a duet with Rex Scott. That's pretty decent song as well. White Cross in the Kingdom. Here we have Ken Tamplin, released by Greta Records. I almost hit in the witness box. Soul Survivor. Not the best Ken Tamplin album. I would rank it 6 out of 10, but still has some memorable songs. Media Mania, Midnight Peru, great flamingo instrumental. I like that instrumental. What else? Love's Eternal Road, I'm Gonna Live Forever. Very more inspirational music, but in terms of the vibe, but great tunes. Stay By My Side and Come and Save Me. There's 7 tracks for me on this album. Here we have Angelica, Rock, Stock and Barrel, another one redone by Gerda Records. Or you can talk about this one. Blood Got All Stand Together. This is the original version. Great album. I do find it's very thinly produced. The band does have plans of reproducing this with a thicker sound. Hope they do. We're given a taste of the thicker production of this album when he did the soundtrack to Into Trance of Rock, because it did contain some songs from this album with more of a thicker production. So to do release this album with a thicker production, I'm looking forward to it. I hope they do that. I think it'll make a greater album and a more heavier album. And then again, Sycamore Obsession, great classic metal album. And then we have Deliverance, What a Joke. And there you have it. And that's my discussion of the year 1991. And some great albums in Christian music, hard rock and metal. And these are all my albums. And of course, as you knows this, there's not one rock album here except for Halo. All the rest is into the hard rock and metal category. Well, Ken Tamplin is borderline rock, hard rock. Because half is probably rock, half is hard rock. Besides Halo and Ken Tamplin, all the rest of these are hard rock and metal. For the most part, 70% of these albums are all hard rock and metal. Except for probably Ken Tamplin and Halo. Ken Tamplin's more half and half. Halo's more like the first album was more hard rock, but they mellow out on this one a tad bit, but still has some great tunes. There you have it, folks. That's my collection. The video's a bit long. I'll cut her off here, and stay heavy. Have a great day. Bye now.